just gone, you know, just crossed the road and wiped it out. That's why it's up and down here. So this is okay, here I am by my 1985 Dodge Ram four-wheel drive. It's a light truck. It's not a real heavy-duty truck or anything, but yeah, I just spent a day or more putting the transmission in the thing, a rebuilt transmission. So the whole underside had to come out, transfer case, drive shafts, exhaust system, everything, and got that all done. And the way I look at it is between this and my 1985 CUCV out there, this ought to get me through the rest of my life, because I don't like messing with those new trucks. You know, for one thing, there's a whole bunch of trucks in town that right now people can't even get parts for, and the computer stuff and everything. And these things are just so simple. I mean, it's just like, I mean, maybe in the city when you're putting on, you know, 20,000 or 50,000 miles a year, you know, some people do that kind of thing. You know, this wouldn't be a good truck. Maybe it's not as gas efficient, but for out here in the village where you can't get parts, you can't bring it in to have it diagnosed by a computer. This is what I like, something incredibly simple. You know, your charging system goes, you replace the alternator, your power steering pump goes, it's right there, you replace that. You break down, you know, you break down, the engine stops when you're out in the, you know, traveling around or something, and you know, and you're wondering what the problem is. You know, I mean, you just undo a hose on your fuel pump, and if you got fuel, you know that your fuel pump's okay, you know that you're got plenty of gas, you know that's not the problem. So you just follow it down the line and get to a simple carburetor, and you know, check the fuel fill. You can do all that stuff right on the road. You know, it's not like these cars nowadays, man. I mean, you just might as well quit. You know, you think you run out of gas, and then you find out that you know, one of your high pressure fuel pumps have gone, you know, and you actually got too much gas, but the computer's shutting you down and making it seem like you got no gas. I mean, it's just ridiculous, you know. It's fine if I lived in Fairbanks and could just run over to the dealer and say, hey, what's wrong with my truck or something like that, but that's not the lifestyle out here. So this thing I got real cheap on city put it up for bid, and yeah, just put a little money into it and a little time, and got a nice truck out of the deal. And yeah, and it's just simple. Yep. I just had to replace the all the door parts on it too. That was another thing. You know, that was more aggravating than putting the transmission in. Yep. And it's only got 40,000 miles. That's the beauty of this thing. That's why I really wanted this truck when I saw it, because it only had 40,000 miles on it. And that's peanuts, you know, out here. And so, you know, sure, some of the rubber stuff and hoses, you know, might be a little, you know, getting a little old. You know, they get weather checked and stuff like that. But the drivetrain, the metal, the gears, you know, 40,000 miles, and that's so it's got lots of life left in it. It'll last me the rest of my life. Needs a new mirror. Yeah, so yeah, I mean it's in nice shape. You know, the nice strong bumper on it, way stronger than the bumpers you'd buy nowadays. You know, on a car. But yeah, I mean everything works. You know, it's even has a nice liner in there. You know, a couple of bolts hold that down a little better. You know, and but yeah, it's in nice shape. You know? you'd pay. I think I told somebody the other day. I said something like, "You'd pay $40,000 for a light truck like this," and they said, "No way, you'd pay $60,000 for a truck, like this, and." $60,000, my God, Like I say, if you live in the city and you got to drive on the streets, 50,000 miles every year, whatever, and you got a good job, but out here, you just got to fix things up, I got a couple of trucks around the corner here. This, yeah, there they are. I got that pickup truck on the left there, not the one on the right, but anyway, that one on the left there, that I got on bid for like $500. Cripes, it must have been 35 years ago or something like that. And it had a bad transmission. I pulled the transmission out. I did send it into town because transmissions are a little complicated to rebuild out here. And got it back and stuck that thing in there, and that lasted me 25 years. Up until just recently, that was my main truck. It's an old International Harvester. It was a Suburban, or whatever you call it, and I cut the back off and
Well,
turned
that's
it
the
into
truck.
a
Me and
pickup truck.
Joey, I remember when that truck was new to us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's the truck we
Yeah.
grew up.
Yeah, it's like in
grew up on.
1982,
Yeah.
82. I'm not sure what that is. I can't forget. I forget. And then the other one was something that somebody was throwing away, and it had a lot of the parts that go in that pickup truck and that Suburban there, and a lot of good tires and stuff like that. So I just parked it there, and it's been parts for that one, and that's what I do, I mean, if I get a truck, if I see another one around town, I'll make a deal with somebody for it and then park it in the yard. And then right now, those two trucks are probably gonna, one of them anyway, I'll probably bring out to the dump, and the dump is like a hardware store for people. All the trucks are parked there, and snow goes, same thing. We keep everybody in town. It's called Tanana Hardware Store, and that's all those snow goes there. That's those are all old junk snow goes for my running snow goes. My running snow goes are all put under tops now and put away careful, but those are all pots. That's what keeps me running, and that's how I get away with not having to work, or I work a little bit, You got to make some money, but that's how I get away with it. You get a snow machine like that, and cripes you. This old junk snow go is $500,000 worth of pots right there, over the life of letting them sit there. Everybody thinks it's junk. They think my yard's full of junk, and yeah, there's a lot of stuff here I'd like to throw away. There's a Volvo here. That was kind of a family car there. That was my wife's car for years, going back and forth to work and driving the kids around and stuff like that. Somebody in, and it's crazy to have Volvo out here, but they're actually, it was a really functional car for, God, 20 years or something, and it's just giving me too much trouble, and I got some better vehicles now, so that's going to go to the dump as soon as I can get my son Joe to, pull me down the dump with that thing, and it's got a lot of good tires on it. We'll take tires off and bring them home, and I got tires all over here. I got everything all over here. Yeah, those are all tires under the tops there. Those are all tires to keep all the vehicles running. Uh, yep. I used to be a tire guy when I was a kid back in the city, and so I'm really into tires. But yeah, yep, that's how vehicles. Boat motors, the same thing. Just rebuild them every couple of years and keep them going. Boat motors are a little more important, though. I've done a lot of stuff on the river, and so I've actually bought some new motors too. Every now and then I'll buy something new, but not all. Not my father was always like, he can fix anything, and that's what he used to do. I remember number of times the family car being some old junk car that he brought home and parked out in front of the house in Dorchester and in the city, and it'd have all the engine parts all apart out in the on the sidewalk, you know, and cardboard boxes, and put everything in, and then put it all back together. And next thing you know, it was the family car for 5 years, 10 years, you know, something like that. And then, yep, yeah, he finally broke down, bought one old Plymouth, I remember, and when he got old, you know, and retired, he bought a Plymouth. Yeah, so that's what we do around here.